Talk.
I can't really hear it too well, Stacy.
Talk.
No, listen. I can't hear it.
Okay,
you just turned it down so I wouldn't sing. That's the truth, right?
It's talk.
It's an ulterior motive. I know it.
Always.
Always.
I'm just mad at you for like leaving me yesterday in the loop.
I know, but see, like I'm back in my office, so I now have proper. Well, we're not sure if it's proper, internet service because it is Cogeco, but it's better than what I had.
Yes, so, and you're here. You're not pixelated. Yeah. So unfortunately, technology does go down. So.
Well, you know what? I want to tell the truth here, guys, so you guys understand what technology is. So I was at the cottage, right? And our kids were having this big Chell tournament at the cottage, and they had all these big important games, and they made us go off the internet because we didn't want to give that. They didn't want us to lag.
Your game was very important.
So I've never really, everyone's data plans is you get tons of data shared, at least on Rogers, and then it slows down a bit and you get unlimited, right? But it's only day 3 of my plan. Day 3. They went through 100 gigs in 3 days.
Holy crap.
So that is why my internet crashed. So I want you guys to be warned, but I learned some really interesting things because it's Tech Tuesday. Yeah. I learned some interesting things, and even though they're not big, huge, data grabbers, but the fact is, if you go to sleep and you leave your Facebook open, or you leave anything that's continually updating any sites, or you're watching a video and you just left it open, even if you've paused, like if you're on Netflix or something, you pause, it's still running, right?
It's still running in the background?
Yeah, like your whatever it is running. So you actually use data there too. So anyway, so I do apologize. We're blaming the kids. I fixed it now, and it's funny because I said to him, I said, do you think this sounds right? 100 gigs in 3 days? And he kind of looked up and he's like, yep, sounds right.
Wow. But that is a lot of data. And Anthea, I know she's at the cottage, and she's saying that cottage internet's always a bit challenging because, of course, it's all data. It's not all Wi-Fi.
And it's been great. If you don't have teenage boys playing Chell tournaments, you're fine.
And for those of you who don't know what Chell is, it's NHL, so it's hockey. So they consider hockey online playing the same as if they were playing ice hockey.
Yeah, very playoffs, and we couldn't watch anything on TV or anything because we were gonna waste their data. Well, we could watch, regular boring cable, but who watches that anymore? Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to own up to it. It wasn't, my service provider, it was the kids.
Exactly. So today we have two very different, because when you're talking about implementing, you can do a number of things. When you put things into production, different people do things in different ways. So I wanted to show you an app today that is very different. Similar, yesterday we talked about using your calendar, and unfortunately, Faye, you kind of, that's where you kind of got really choppy. So can you just kind of review again, because this is the system that I use personally. I use my calendar and I put everything into the calendar. So can you just talk about what you were referring to yesterday in the calendar, so what I do, and then I'm going to show you the app that's a little bit different from that, but still kind of incorporates the same concepts.
Yeah, I mean, my calendar is my best friend. It's the one thing that I go by, and if it's not on the calendar, I just assume I don't have anything scheduled. So if you guys don't get on my calendar, like, don't expect me to show up anywhere. Anyway, so it's real simple. If you work backwards, right? You're always working backwards. So if you decide to do, first of all, on your calendar, put everything that you have to do, required to do, take the kids to school, go to the doctors, you name it. But then when you want to create a project, then you want to put it on September 15th. You know that's the date it's due, it's going live, whatever you're doing with it, you need to work backwards. So you have to figure out how many hours it's going to take you to do this, and then schedule those in prior to September 15th so you can get it done. So if you don't do it that way, nothing gets done. So we work the same way on our social media. We do it with our calendar and Trello boards attached, so that we're working on, for example, next week's social media. We know it in advance. We work on it this week, so it's up for next week. We know how many hours it's going to take, and if we miss it, then that doesn't get done, right?
And I do the same thing. So the way that I work, and that I just want to show you a little bit of a different system here in a sec, but that's sort of the way that I work. So I put everything in my calendar. So not only is it, I'm going to work on this particular piece today, when I work backwards, I put in the notes in that calendar entry what exactly I need to do during that time block, which was perfect. So this morning I woke up, I had already planned yesterday what I was going to do today. I opened my calendar, I click on it, and there are the tasks that I needed to complete, which was perfect. So this system that I'm going to show you, it's actually a different concept, because some people honor their calendar, but that's fine. But I also want to recognize that people think differently and do things differently and like to-do lists. So I'm not a big fan of to-do lists personally, because I find that they get lost in Never Never Land. But this one, my brother actually introduced me to this many years ago, and he lived and died by this app. He found it so helpful. So let me show you. It's called, let me just open this up, if I can find out where it is. Boom, boom. It is called Toodly-Doo. Toodle-Doo. So I'm actually going to take the branding off here for a second, because I know you can't see the bottom of it if I don't do that. So what I like about this is that it incorporates everything. So you can literally put tasks, and you can put those tasks in different folders, and you can put due dates, and you can list them by all kinds of different things. So here are my tasks. And if I do them by folder, I can go, oh, I have a folder called Faye. And if I click on the folder Faye, there is my task associated, and it's talk to Faye about planning, because she's the strategist. So I can look at my online course. Oh, and it still talks to online, still says to talk to Faye, because so I can organize them in multiple ways. I can organize them by due date, what I want to see, but I also like the fact that you can put notes in this particular app. This particular app also has what they call an outline, which is really cool when you want to kind of have a bigger section and you want to put all of those pieces underneath. So you can actually map things out using the outline feature, which I like, and it's all on your phone. And then, of course, like everything else, it does have lists. So one list is things I need to get started. So I click on that, and it shows me what I need to do. So things I need a website, and okay, I may have put Trello in there because I'm a little bit obsessed, but that's okay. And then I can add more details in regards to that list. So it does have everything, if that's the way that your brain works in regards to separating things out. Again, I like to have everything in one spot. So this, although I love this app and I think it's a very awesome tool, if this is how your brain works, right. I am a more linear thinker. So I put everything either in my calendar or in my Trello board, and I move those across because I'm a thought process thinker. But this is a really great way as well if you want to put everything in here to make lists, to make to-dos, to make your schedule, notes. It's kind of an all-in-one, but it also brings in habits. There's a whole slew of things if you want to get into lifestyle stuff and building habits and new ways and motivating, but I haven't put anything in here because it's not really my thing to do. So this is just a different way of doing things. It's cool. Again, I love it because I think it has everything in regards to a to-do list app. I know there's lots of list apps out there, but this incorporates that along with everything else in regards to due dates. So take a look at it. It's 100% free. Toodly-doo.
Yes. I would suggest, I'm going to go back to the calendar, but I would suggest that, like any list, and I talk about lists all the time, a list is just a list unless you do something with it.
Absolutely.
So if you really love lists and you're good at going ahead and implementing, cool. If you just love lists and just keep lots of lists, which is what most people do, is just every week go to your list and then transfer something from your list onto your calendar so that you'll do it. The only reason I push that whole calendar thing so much is because it forces you to look at that date. So unless your to-dos, unless you actually have dates attached to them and you stick with them, which is fine. I'm good with that. Like, again, anything that makes you do something is cool.
Exactly. And Marianne's just saying that she likes the look of it. Now, Marianne, it's great because she's a virtual assistant. So she has to keep things ridiculously organized. So the fact that she likes the way it's laid out is good, but she uses Trello for her clients as well. So welcome to the Trello team, Marianne.
Everything works. You just have to find one that actually you will use. And that's the difference. There's a lot of, like, Stacy and I download so much stuff. We download so many apps and stuff because we naturally look at them and go, this is cool. Then we want to try it. And then we realize that we probably don't work that way, but it's always nice to look at. So you just have to identify what it is you do, right? So we're going to go ahead.
Again, anything that is going to make you take action. And something also, like, I think the other challenge that I have with some of these to-do lists, and that's, again, I like this one because you can assign dates and you can organize things a little bit better. But your typical list, are you going to look at it on a regular basis? So unless you have it in a place that you're going to look at, so if you're going to use this, use it, go all in, make sure that you're going to get everything done and take action on the things that you put in the app. Otherwise, it's not going to get done.
It's kind of like people that use planners are like, they're good. They live by their planner, right? They still like the old thing. They like to mark it up. It's cool. They live by them. I always, and you do the same, Stacey, we always go, oh, look at this planner. This is really cool. And then we get it, and then we never even put anything in it.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I bought this one. It's custom made. Yeah. So it's a really cool company. They custom make the pages that you need. And I literally built this out because I couldn't find a planner that I liked. So I literally contacted them when, I want this, this, and this. It was all in line. It was perfect. And now I use it as a notebook.
Yeah. So like, you just want to be honest with yourself. You know what? We all do it. We all buy stuff or download stuff. And we go, oh, I'm definitely going to use this. And you don't. So as long as you're honest. So we're going to go from one extreme to the next.
Yes, we are.
So this is about implementation. This is about producing. And this is great that we're doing all of this, right? But for some of us, at the end of the day, the only way we're going to get anything done is if we get somebody to do it for us. So my big recommendation is Fiverr. And for those of you who have already used it, awesome. For those of you who haven't, I think there's a link there that will get you 20% off or something, your first order, if you use it. Just go ahead and look around. If you can, try to think of absolutely anything you need, and it's probably on Fiverr. And it's named Fiverr because essentially when they launched, it was like, get anything done for $5. That was essentially what it was about. But the truth is, if you guys are working on a lead magnet, they will make it really pretty. You can have your choice of any designer. You look through their stuff. Some of them you'll get for $5. Some of them will be, $80. It depends on how many pages and how challenging it is to do. But this is kind of like, this is my you have no excuses left technology.
It's very true.
So if you don't want to do the list and you don't want to get the work done and you don't want to put it in your calendar because you just don't want to go to that next step, Fiverr will do it for you. They will do scripts and videos and logos and lead magnets. They will do voiceovers. They'll manage your social media. They'll do absolutely anything you can think of, right?
Logos, videos. There's one that I found fascinating on Fiverr is you can actually hire somebody to do a voiceover.
Yeah. On
Fiverr. So they will speak your words for you on all kinds of
things. And you can, like, there's probably, 100 different people, and they have their samples of their work under each under each
profiles
of them, and then you just be able to say, oh, I like this one. Or, you know, if you want them to create a presentation for you, there are people that do presentations. So you would go look at all their work and you would say, oh, that person is the kind of one I want. And then they'll price it out. Like if you have 50 slides, they'll usually tell you how much it is for, you know, 25 slides or 50 slides for 100. So you always know the price up front,
which is great.
And the other piece too is, for example, if you want to get a logo done or something, you'll get a regular downloadable file, but you can also upgrade for usually $20 or something, and they'll give you all the source files, which means that you can go ahead and change them when you need. So, I mean, I like people to do their work, but I also want the work done. And for those of you who know that this is just not your thing, whatever you're stuck with, go and get somebody else to do it.
And it's so inexpensive. I mean, Anthea can attest to it because she just said she's really happy with her lead magnet that was done on Fiverr.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It was finished today. So which is great. And it didn't take her the time except to write the words, which is great. I can't remember what I got done on Fiverr, but I was so happy.
Logos.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I had something else. I can't remember. But I love the fact that it's like, here you go. And you sit back and it's so inexpensive, which I really like. So again, if that's where you're stuck because you don't know how to create a lead magnet, you don't know how to make it look good, there are people out there that do, then it's really inexpensive. So 20% off. So I put the link in the thing. Is that so first perfect 20% off your first
order?
For
their first order, I think that's the only one I could find. I always look when we get on these guys, if it's a cost, we always look for the best coupon we can find you. But that's pretty good. 20% is decent. So, so, you know, I think for that, just go ahead and try it and see if you like it or not. Or, you know, like you can find things, you know, as we said, everything under $100 for sure. But you have to, before you get to that point, before you do the list or the calendar, or whatever, you just have to identify what it is holding you back from doing whatever it is that you want to do. Right? Whether it is in business or anything else, if there is something holding you back, just say, okay, this is what it is. I just don't want to do it. All right, then let's figure a way to get around it. But don't just ignore it, because if you don't want to do it, you're never going to do it.
So as you can tell, this week is all about getting things done, the action. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What systems are you putting in place? And again, no excuses, as Faye always said. I'll never forget the time where I put out on Facebook, my internet had gone down, my power, I think, even went out, but my phone still worked. So I put it on Facebook. I was like, oh, internet's down, power's out, you know, blah, 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 interruptive workday. And I literally got a text 2 minutes later going, well, there's internet other places. Next excuse.
Yeah, it's true, right?
So where there's a will, there's a way. But understanding the way that you work is the most important thing, and understanding where your blocks are is where you might want to outsource, or just time, because there's only 24 hours and you do need to sleep. I've heard rumors. I've heard that people sleep. You don't
try.
You're not one of them. I know that.
Next life.
Next life, you're going to sleep.
Yeah, a lot.
So is there any questions about anything that we either talked about yesterday? Because again, Faye wasn't here for some of it. Her internet obviously went down. So if there's any questions that you have from yesterday or about these two particular apps or anything else. But we are back while I'm waiting for questions. So tomorrow night, in the On Point Ask a Mentor group. If you're not part of that group, you can join that group. Celia's doing an interview tomorrow night. You're live on Thursday in regards to something.
We're going through course creation this week for those On Point members. The module that's up right now is all about pricing strategies. So you don't want to miss that one. And then tomorrow morning, go do it today, because tomorrow will be sales pages. So there's a lot. And then Thursday night, we have our On Point group where you guys can ask questions.
And then Friday, as always, Friday night, we are back. And obviously, we're going to be answering your questions about absolutely anything. So put them in the group, put your questions, send us your questions. Whether you want an opinion on something, do you want an opinion on lead magnet that you've created? Do you want an opinion on the page to gain those contacts for your leads? Whatever the case is, put the links and we'll make sure that we get those.
And share what you're using. If you found a tool that helps you implement things, then why don't you share it with the group? Because I know it seems, we sometimes think, oh, it's not a big deal, but it is, because somebody might find it and go, wow, this has really changed my life. So list them. Can't hurt.
Absolutely. And we've got an Anthony just asked for the link for the Toodly-Doo, and that is right there. It's literally toodly-doo.com. No one would have that URL, so I think they were good. Yeah. And the link for the Fiverr coupon is there as well.
Cool.
Awesome. Right. Okay, guys, have a great Tuesday, and we will see you very soon.
Yeah.